the food is one of the primary source that we have to focus to fuel our body. All of us know so much about the food, the healthy food, what are the healthy foods and where we get it, and how much that we can eat it. But sometimes we do miss when to eat and what to eat. So we are going to look more into different types of food, the healthy way of eating, and what our Guru Maharishi recommended about the healthy way of eating, and some facts about the eating. So next slide, I'll second. So there are three types of food Ayurveda suggested as, or you can say that it's described three different types of yogic food. One is sattvic, another one is rajasic food. The third one is tamasic food. So sattvic food is more of the organic food, we can say, by looking at the picture. And rajas food is something that stimulates and acts as to work more. We do need that, every now and then. And tamas food is something that very hard to digest to our body. So we are what we eat. And let's go more into the sattvic food. The sattvic is a clean food that calms our body and gives more energy to our body, which is very high in the prana. So the sattvic food, we can say it is our soul food that helps to elevate our consciousness and promotes the longevity, and it going to keep our health very active and good. So sattvic food is a kind of light food, nutritious, rich food, and that soothes our mind and relaxes our body and keeps our mind calm. So let's go and look into what about the sattvic. What are the kinds of the sattvic food that we use it in our everyday basis? Fresh fruit and juice and vegetables, warm milk and ghee, whole grains, nuts, natural honey, which is a natural sweetener that given by the Mother Earth, rice, barley, and whole wheat. These are some of the sattvic food types that we eat every day. When it comes to fresh food, each and every section that we can discuss a lot. Maybe I can give few examples here. When it comes to fresh fruits and vegetables, can we eat all the fresh fruits just directly from the tree or directly from the plants? Nowadays, there are a lot of pesticides is being used on the fresh fruits, and some of the, not all the fruits, some of the fruits and vegetables. For example, if we take grapes, when I was looking into fruits section, I just looked into the grapes and strawberry. These are the two examples that I can say. Maybe if you have more examples, you can also share in the YouTube. Grapes has more pesticides. It's one of the fruits have more pesticides. So how we can eat that fruit? We have to, at least my mother, always advised me to use little bit of turmeric and a salt, and then soak it for 10 to 15 minutes so that all the pesticides will go from that fruit. Then you can eat the grapes. It's the same as strawberry. If you look into it, like what are the list of the foods that are more pesticides, you will find it more. But because of the time constraint, I'm just giving you only few examples. But before we eat any fresh fruit and vegetables, we have to keep in mind that what are the vegetables that I can consume directly without cleaning the outer skin of the fruit. So there are some fruits you have to be really careful while eating. Wash it thoroughly and then eat. And then come warm milk and ghee. Few 10 years back, or even when I grew up, when I was little, we did not see much problem with the milk. We morning we can drink milk, and evening or night, anytime drinking milk was not a problem. But now the milk not for everybody, but for some of us, the milk is, if we don't consume the right milk, like from the farm milk, it's good. But the milk, pasteurized milk, sometimes it's creating a problem. So you have to be careful with the milk as well. Uh, you can I don't know how many of you know it, but the pasteurized milk has some sugar added into it. So one of my friends, when she got a diabetes when she was pregnant, she was advised by the doctor not to drink the pasteurized milk because it had added sugar in it. So we have to be careful when we drink the milk. Depends on our health situation, whether we can consume the milk or not is the individual choice. And then whole grains, nuts. Nuts is something till now it's not genetically modified by anybody or any company. So nuts and whole grains are one of the gift, nature's gift to the human. It's a really healthy food and a clean food that we all know about it. And natural honey, it's a natural sweetener. And then rice, barley, and whole wheat. So these foods, it's a clean and calm food, gives more energy. We all aware of it, but it's just a reminder to ourselves that are we just including more of sattvic food into our daily life? So it's something that we can ask ourselves, and then if we're not including, then yes, we can include it more. The next one is rajas food. Rajas food is often stimulating and promoting action. If you want to do, if you want to have more goals in your life, that this is in 2 years I want to do that, so you have to put your action and energy into it. And you want to be, some days you want to be really highly active, like Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday we tend to have little bit relaxed. So when you are very relaxed, we can eat very light food. When you are in very much motion and action, then the rajas food is what it's recommended by Ayurvedic. So rajas food is, it's going to give you a boost to go towards your goal. It is going to make you bold and courage, sometimes chaos, and dominating thoughts. So any food that cooked with excess oil and spices are also called as rajas food. And overdose of rajas can lead to restlessness, overactive mind. So when you take the rajas food, we have to be really conscious about, especially after 8 o'clock, can I drink tea? Uh, that is some of the thing that you have to be mindfully think about. Is it really that needed to have a tea after 8 or after 9 p.m.? If you have if you are with the friends, then that is fine. If you're going to wake up for 2 more hours, then that is recommended. So it's something you have to mindfully think when it comes to rajas food, and then you can consume it. So let's see some of the types of the rajas food. Chilies. Chilies is like hot chilies is what it's rajas. It comes under rajas category. And brinjal, tea and coffee, onion and garlic, refined sugar, candies, and ice cream with more of sugar, canned food, caffeinated sodas, and energy drinks. And eggs. More protein food is categorized into a rajas food. Eggs, and especially high protein food. And yes, sometimes we do need a high protein food to keep us going. And we do need tea and coffee, because many of us, that's we will connect more with the coffee and the tea. At least 70% of us, I would say that, because I talk to many of my friends, and it is one of their soul food, that the tea and the coffee, they connect very much to it, because without that they will not able to do their work. So it's one of the food, but uh, when we can take it is what we have to be very mindful. So that is the part that we are going to remind us again, like these are the foods that I know. The chilies, is good. When I was doing my research about the food, I found out that if we eat a hot pepper, it clears the sinus problem. We can understand, right? Because if any blocks in your nose, if any if mucus is congestion, then by eating, just biting a chili, then it's going to really bring everything down. Like it is going to clear your sinus, and you can just, even with the one blow, that you can take all your mucus out. So chilies is, so who can use the chili, for what we are going to use the chili, and how much we are going to use the chili. That is when it comes to a, meditation can help uh, as to determine that when I can use it. That gives you a clarity of thinking. So meditation can help, or meditation or yoga or any exercise that helps us to think more clearer perspective. So brinjal. So brinjal curry, for brinjal is all the time brinjal good. It again depends on whether some doctors may recommend the brinjal for some medicine, or some doctors may recommend the onion for as a medicine. So it is again depends on when I have to take and how much I can take, and for what I'm eating it. Whether am I overeating it, or am I just eating it in a moderately, consciously, is what we have to be focused on while eating. Um, so the next, is there a way that I can see the YouTube messages, ma'am? Because I have some questions to ask as well. So just want to make sure, is there a way that I can ask the question, and then so that I can be interactive with the
You can
listeners?
share, you can chat, ma'am. You can share your questions, or you can voice out your questions, and they'll reply
Okay.
in the chat, ma'am.
Okay, sure, sure. Okay. So after this, maybe. So tamas food tend to be leaving you feeling full and satisfied for longer time, and have an overall heaviness to mind and body. And the picture I got some pictures of the tamas food, which is the anything that heavy to our body, especially the meats. Uh, the red meat is a little bit heavier than the white meat, and fried foods, alcoholic beverages, pastries, pizzas. These are the heavy foods that are listed as a tamas food. And if you want to stay light and more energetic, we have to avoid the tamas food, especially in the night time. After 6, that it's always recommended to not to eat anything heavy after 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Maharishi's recommendation is no food after 8 p.m. So it's good to avoid all the tamas food, especially in the night time, because it's going to give you a heaviness to our body and also to your mind. It might also disturb our sleep, and it's slow down. And if you eat stomach full before you go to the sleep, then it's going to disturb, definitely it's going to disturb our sleeping pattern. And food higher in fat and protein is also put into the tamas food category. And any questions so far with these three types of the food? So now the question that I want to ask, because when I was just thinking about the food, my question, one of the questions that I got into my mind was like, how much sattvic food that I eat every day? Am I eating in the morning, or am I eating in the afternoon, or is sattvic good food good in the night? Sattvic food is something we can eat all the time, but rajas and tamas, we have to be consciously think or decide when to eat and what to eat. So how much sattvic food that we eat every day? In a regular basis, we eat more of South Indian food or North Indian food. What kind of food comes into a sattvic category? So those questions just came into my mind, because we eat more of a tiffin like idli, dosa, upama, or those come into a sattvic food type, because we cook that. Anything that we cook comes into a rajas category. But as long as if it is lighter to our body, it is going to keep our mood good, or it's not bringing any heavy thoughts, then I think sattvic and rajas, the combination of those two food is recommended. But sometimes if you want to meditate for 2 hours or 3 hours, then the heavy food is not recommended. Even the rajas is not recommended. You can go to the sattvic food. So the question probably to the listeners is, how much percentage or of the sattvic food that I am eating in my everyday life? How much of a rajas food that I'm eating in everyday life? Because by asking some of the questions to ourselves, our mind will start thinking about, okay, morning I'm eating something, maybe I can add more sprouts into my morning food, I can add little bit of salad into my afternoon meal, or the night I can eat very lighter, maybe very light food of 2 or 3 idlis, or not really a very oiled food in the night. So by asking more questions to ourselves, like we can bring more awareness into our food. So the question is, any of you just want to share, like, what are the other sattvic food you think that we can include in our everyday life? More of a more of fresh juice we can drink, and then I would recommend for more of smoothies. Yes, that's what I the word I was looking for. More of smoothies. Nowadays a lot of smoothies have come, and smoothies we can drink in the morning, which kind of keeps us light, and then afternoon we can have really a very good meal, and the night again very light food is what, at least when I was doing my research, I just found out that any food after 7 or 8, you should be avoided, and light food before 7, it's always recommended to keep us more healthier. And some of the okay, so why we have so much focused on our food? Because we eat 2 times a day, 3 times a day, and we think that we know all about the food, but at the same time we have more consciousness, the awareness. Right now many of us have it because there's so much information available. At the same time we also have more diseases, body ailment, cancers, diabetes is also growing on the other side. So there seems to be somewhere that imbalance that we have. Either we are is working too hard and we are missing to eat on time. It's probably one of the reasons that we get that ailment. Or we are too stressful because we work nowadays. We have to work like more than 8 hours or 9 hours. Work is not like an easy job. It used to be like few years back. So we have to work really hard, and then end of the work that we get stressed, and then we tend to eat whatever the food is available. It's not consciously about it eating. So that could be another reason. So we have to be mindful about separate the work and not bring the stress into our eating. So once we bring our anxiety or stress or a bad mood into our eating, we tend to eat unhealthy food. So we have to be very mindful about what we eat. So when I was looking more into, like, why do we really need a clean food and a food that calms my mind? So the reason is because it is it is going to increase my vibration, because we are all made up of energies. We are vibrational beings, and energy is, end of the day, energy, how much energy that I have, it's what it matters. So we are vibrational beings made of energy field of human. Maybe with our two eyes we cannot see, but there are some other photography. Kirlian photography captures the energy. That was very interesting that I found. So after we take the food, uh, we feel highly vibrational or more energetic, which means that the food is the right food for us. If it is not highly vibrational, or if you feel very sleepy, then probably that is not the right food for us. So this is one of the photography. It's many photographies available online. If you are more interested, you can just look more into it. There are many documents available. that this photography that really takes the energy field around a fruits or vegetable or any objects. So I've given some examples. If you look at this plant, see this plant is have the energy field around it. This Kirlian photography had done a very good job capturing the energy field around this. And this is the kiwi fruit. If when you take a photograph, it's really showing that the color, that energy field around it. This is a tomato. This one is a raw tomato, and this one is a cooked tomato, and this one is a meat that before and after cooking, and this is a mushroom and then apple. There are many pictures available. I just got some of the examples that we can clearly see that we say as a aura field around it is nothing but the electrical charge or electrical field around us. So when you just look at the raw vegetables, uncooked, organically grown vegetables tend to have more vibrational energy field. So by eating that, we can also improve our vibration and we can have more energy to do our work. And next, rules to be observed while eating. Um, let's see what are the rules that. When it comes to a food, Maharishi's recommendation is less spice, especially when you get very older, even above 40, it's not very old, but when as you age, we have to gracefully or mindfully have to focus on our food. Okay, will the more spice might create, more anger. So do I need a more spicy food? So that you have to focus on it. And then clean food and healthy food and the food that has more life force. How can I find the food that has more life force? For example, I can give you just a few instances that at least I personally had experienced the life force. Cut a tomato and just don't do anything and then put it into the soil. Within 2 weeks, you'll see that small plants, coming out of that tomato seeds. And with anything, right? If you eat a pomegranate, the seeds just one of my friends child, she ate the pomegranate and then she threw it on the garden, just just accident. It was an accident. And then there was really, she got, there were many seeds from the pomegranate, and then she got like 5 small saplings from that pomegranate. So which means that the fruit had so much life in it. It within 2 weeks it had given the on the soil. If you put on the soil, it produced a tree, a small tree, this small plant, and then become a tree. So any food, I think most of the organic plants or vegetables, when you think itself, you will know that it has more life force. So when it comes to meat, yes, it is an individual choice again. That has a different life force that may not give plant or fruits or vegetables, but it has a different kind of life force. So when it comes to like to decide what kind of food has a life force, anything that with the seeds, I would say, because I personally had experience that. Any most of the vegetables, even with the spinach stick, right, if you get it from the store and if you put it on the soil, within 2 3 weeks you'll see that new leaves started coming out, so that it has more life force in it. So just prefer, go with the food that has more life force and more of the sattvic food, and balance with the rajas food. If you want to have, if we have the goals, then we cannot can we go only with the sattvic food? That may be possible. It depends again on the lifestyle, but we can balance with the rajas food. And tamas is again an individual choice. Eat when you are hungry. This is something like everybody knows about it, or we are aware of it, but maybe we may not following it because of our work, or our we have to travel a lot, so we have to eat when we get the food. So again, we have to mindfully make sure that eat only when you are hungry. Eat before 8 p.m. There are timelines, some say eat before 6 p.m., some say before 7 p.m. At 8 p.m., it again depends on, but not after 8 p.m. Before 6 p.m., yes, for elderly people, it is good because they'll have a 3 or 4 hours timeline to digest the food. For young children, I think 7:30 or 8 p.m. is good because they'll have in 2 hours they can go to a bed. So it's again our individual choice that you can pick your time and make sure not to eat anything heavier after 8 p.m. And do not overeat or undereat. If you overeat, we know that what is going to happen. Either it will push us to, to go to bed, or we may feel sleepy, very drowsy, and then it will stop us to do work, and then we have to drink coffee after that or drink tea to make us more active. Undereat, if you undereat it, then within an hour you will feel hungry again. So these are things, some of the things you have to keep in mind consciously while eating. And eat half food. Even the half food, I would say one third of vegetables, maybe one third of carb, one third of protein. That's what's nowadays it's been recommended by the doctors. Um, one fourth of water and one fourth of air. So when you eat the food, make sure you keep, nowadays that the recommendation is just less carb or equal amount of carb, equal amount of vegetables, and equal amount of the protein, and half of the 1/4 of water and 1/4 of air. And this is something that Maharishi had said, and we also have a song to bless the food, like Unavu Padal, right? Food song. Bless the food and water before eating. There are many scientifically proven that how blessing the food will increase the vibration immediately. Hold a glass of water into your hand. See, if you have any devices, you can measure it, but because we don't have any devices, we cannot see it, but we can feel that vibration will be transformed from our body, or from the pair, from the cosmos, through your body and through your hands to the food. So either you can keep the hands on top of your food and then bless the food, or just from your heart chakra can bless the food, and then especially blessing the water. We do it through the ojas breath, blessing the water. But if some of you, if you are in the workplace, if you cannot do the ojas, then take like few seconds to really close your eyes, or with open eyes bless the food and the water. It increases the vibration immediately, and when you drink the water, it is going to make you feel more energetic. So blessing the food and the water, there are many scientific experiments has been done, that even though if you get the food from outside, or you cooked your own food, or somebody else gave you the food or shared the food, please make sure to bless the food and the water before you eat. This is some of the rules that I just got it. I thought I can share. These are some of the rules that I at least tried to follow. So Maharishi's recommendations about the food. Eat mindfully. So we had seen this mindful eating like in every slide. Even the sattvic food also, when you eat it, you have to be mindful. When you eat more of anything, that it's going to create an imbalance in our body. So mindful eating it's a out of everything. If you ask me, the mindful eating is one of the primary point that you have to keep it in the mind. And eat well in the morning, moderate in the afternoon, and less in the evening. Uh, and health is the real wealth. This is nobody can deny that health is the real wealth, and without any health, good health, it is not easy. The value of the health only when you go and get sick, or sick person, then you will know the true value of the health. So just taking care of the health is our responsibility. So we have to do everything that we can take to keep our health happy and healthy. And leftovers and food hard to digest should not be taken. Kayakalpam or just breathing exercise, what Maharishi's recommendation, to limit the food. It is to reduce the intake of the food. The more we do it, he just recommended that if we do it, the Vojas within 1 month, you'll cut down to one third of the quantity. every day if you continue, then you will another 6 months you will cut down the food into 1 second. I mean, half of the food you will reduce the intake by just keep doing the Vojas breathing. So Kayakalpam and this Vojas breathing is a gift that our Maharishi had given to us. And then we can take the advantage of the Vojas breathing and our Kayakalpam to reduce the intake. And all the more you take the breathing, we also naturally we'll shift into the sattvic food. And little bit of rajas is also fine. But I think the energies that we get through our breathing will naturally move us into a sattvic food. That's what I have observed personally. And so any questions so far? Okay, this is so the one that facts about the healthy food. Eating right food could reduce the risk of many diseases. It will save money, and many of us may not aware that how much money that we are paying to a medical insurance uh, and can we live without the medical insurance. Like 10 years back we did not, even in India nowadays that we have a lot of medical insurance that we have to pay a decent amount of money to that insurance. So by eating the right, by doing a proper meditation, and then do the exercise, you don't really need to have I mean, I would not say that insurance, you don't need to really worry about getting sick. And then naturally that will help you to save money. You will not get into the insurance of this and that, that takes like few thousand hundreds, because the everyday exercise, it really helps for the long living. uh, and everyday yoga, everyday meditation keeps our mind calm. That indirectly it helps our family and also helps us financially. How can I get the benefit of my yoga? Maybe you can tell your friends. Okay, what is the benefit of the yoga? Tell me that, give me that. Because financial is something probably we do not discuss about it, but it will also help you to financially save the money, because it's not going to make us sick more often. And one of the I live in Austin, Texas, and here allergy is one of the big deal that everybody gets cedar allergies or oak allergies, and there are many other forms of allergies available. But with the exercise, I think yoga, that so far some of my friends and me are not into getting allergies. So we are it's been, they say that after 10 years your body will immune to the allergies, but so far we are good. So it will save a lot of money. You don't go and buy the allergy medicines from the counter, or your eye drops or your ear drops, all that. It's interlinked. When it comes to allergy, it's all like ENT, they say ear, nose and throat gets affected. So you can save a lot of money. So you can confidently go and say that if you do the Maharishi's yoga, Maharishi's exercise and the meditation, it's going to save you the money. So how do you save the money? Because now within 30 days and 60 days they can see the difference. It's going to calm them down, it's going to give a healthy body, and any ailments that have, it's naturally going to go away. And a well balanced diet could improve your and the energy levels. And eating healthy can prevent many diseases, including the diabetes. One of the masters that I have in India, she only introduced she introduced me that Vethathiriam, and to my other friends she introduced the Vethathiriam, and I'm very grateful for her. She's a 60 plus year old mother. She's like almost my godmother, and she had a diabetes and she had a knee issues. The doctor told her to do the surgery, that she had to spend like 1.5 lakhs to do the surgery. The next day, she was a very, very determined lady, and she went to that one of the mandram which is closer to her. She lives in Chennai, and then she started doing the exercises. And then it took some time, within 30 days, and then she got rid of the knee issues. And then her skin started glowing. And there are so many benefits that we all of us have experienced it. So but if you talk to the master, our senior masters who had really gone through a practical experience, will be more motivated to do the yogas and the exercises. So when I talk to her, I really get more inspired and motivated because she had really gone through the health issues, alignment issues, body alignment, and then that yoga helped her to heal that. And then she also got that varicose nerve issues, and then by doing it every day 45 days she gotten rid of that issue. There are many issues that like when you go closer to 40 or 50, then you get it by doing it every day or even weekly 3 days or 4 days. It's going to keep us more healthier, and then we can avoid many diseases. So eating healthy can prevent many diseases and also extend our life without any doubt. That is all that I wanted to share with you all today. And some of the things that, my personal thing is eating again is a state of the mind. Okay, if you want to eat, can we eat a sattvic food all the time? Maybe in reality, it may be a little bit of harder, but it's again, if I love to eat a light food nowadays because after doing the yoga for 2 years and with the blessings and invocations, naturally your energies around you or within you, it's not pushing you to eat heavier. So, but if someone is not doing a yoga, then how can we, tell them that what kind of food that they can eat? Because we have kids and we have family, we have extended family. Not everyone is doing the exercises. So, what we can, they may eat some, unhealthy food and also with the healthy food, but we have to constantly remind our children and our family to eat something healthy. So, eat in moderate. What you eat mindfully, and then enjoy the food that you eat, even it is a fried food. Okay, that is something that you can put the limitation, right? Okay, this is how much that you can eat it, because we cannot avoid all the food that's available right now as we practically, because the kids may want something to, if you go to birthday parties, the cakes are nowadays at every birthday party that we have a cake, the ice cream is served, and so many wonderful desserts are, in parties. And then so eat in moderate, and when you eat it, do not it is again, it's a state of the mind. Do not feel more guilty about, this food is going to give me so much, fat. I'm eating so much fat into it. I'm eating so much carb, or I'm eating so much protein. Do not put that so much of negative thoughts when you're eating. That is a better way of saying it. So anything that you eat, enjoy and celebrate what you eat. That really, because I personally don't prefer any snacks, because when I grew up I did not really had the habit of eating snacks. But when I eat my meal, I eat really a very good quantity of the meal. But when I compare to my friends, when they eat, they always like, okay, this is going to give me more weight. And they every food that if you put a negative thought, it's going to give me weight, it's going to give you more fat. I think you are going to attract that, especially when you do the yoga, meditation, whatever you think, right? That the probability of attracting it is much easier, more faster. So anything that you eat, do it joyfully. Okay, if you want to eat samosa, just limit it to one. But joyfully eat. Enjoy every bite what you eat, and eat it mindfully, and celebrate what you eat. And that's another, probably I personally would, tell my friends, just celebrate, eat what you eat. If you want to eat, just as Magarishi's recommendation, okay, half food and then one third of water. You can eat, 60% of the food, but enjoy what you eat, and then enjoy the life. Every bite of the food, if you start enjoying it without putting any negative thought into it, I think it's going to keep us healthier, because body is naturally designed to keep us healthy. We really don't have, all you have to do is little bit of maintenance. Okay, whether this one is good for me, or I can avoid it, or when I can eat it, the little bit of conscious thoughts into it while eating it will going to really help us live a happy and healthy life. So that is all I have for today. Thanks for joining the session, and thank you for giving this opportunity to discuss about the food. And if you have any questions, please, we can discuss more about it. And it's it's just a, I just don't want to speak just a one way. And then, so if you have any questions, please go ahead. And any other food recommendations from the listeners, please share your thoughts as well. So how do you avoid negative thoughts around the food? Because any food that we eat, especially when we get the food from the restaurant, we own a restaurant. So nowadays we have the habit, I think generally, if I watch many videos, I think one general idea that we have is like the restaurant food is not healthy. I mean, it is not a homemade food, so it is going to give me more fat, or it's going to be more oily. So I probably would recommend or ask the listeners, the whoever, because we own a restaurant, we know how hard it is to cook the food in the restaurant, and the restaurant is like our family. So everybody who's working in the restaurant are our brothers and sisters, our uncles. Once we have it in, especially here, our friends are like our family, right? So they, whatever they cook, let's have the intention that it's cooked by my brother, it is cooked by my uncle or somebody, it's cooked by my mother. Just at least have an intention when you bless the food. To get a food from the restaurant, especially, just let's not put into the thought that okay, it is a restaurant food, it's something that's going to bring me more fat or some indigestion or some constipation. Instead of thinking that negative thoughts, let's put the mindset into the food that okay, it is cooked by someone, like our family or extended family, like our like our brother, like our anna or akka. So they cooked it for me. So they put lot of effort in cooking that food for me. So bless the food. The moment you bless the food, or any negative energies attached to the food will be gone. Now, that is what at least the science proves it. The moment you put the food, because I saw that one of the scientists put food into the glass jar and had returned the label as love and kept it aside for 30 days. And the same food returned the label, labeled the word with the hate and put it aside. Then after 30 days, the food with the love jar still was, very fresh. The hate jar was contaminated. So the word and our thoughts and how the energy that we put into our food has so much impact into it. So any food that we eat, whether it's the roadside food or the home cooked food, especially, no food can compare with our homemade food. But let's also try to put the same energy. At least take an effort to put the same positive thoughts into the food that we get it from outside, so that we can eat it more joyfully and just celebrate what you eat. That is another point I wanted to share. And if you have if you don't have any other questions, then thank you for giving this opportunity to me. Be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Hemalatha ma'am, for your enlightening and wonderful speech. Uh, can we move on to the question and answer session? You can raise your hand using Zoom, and you can introduce yourself, voice out your questions or feedbacks. All are welcome, please. They've shared their feedback in the chat also, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't know how to look at the chat. Do I have to go to YouTube link to look into it?
No, ma'am. Actually, at the bottom, you can see
Uh-huh.
mute, start video, participants,
Okay.
chat. Just
Okay,
touch
one
the
second.
chat so that you can see.
Okay. Because I'm just kind of new to
So
that.
many have
Okay.
written. So many have written. And they
Let
even
me.
gave you answers for your questions
Okay. Sorry. That's what I
in
was just keep on
between.
talking. I did not
I don't
look
want
into
to
it.
disturb you because the flow was too good. I don't want to interrupt, so I just left it. Now you can read
Okay.
it.
Okay, now let me go to the chat. One second. Yes. Um, this combination. Hold on one second. I'm just, yeah. Common salads. Yeah. Kani salads. Combination of high fiber, protein, and fermented. Yes. That is something that fermented food, that so many doctors recommending the fermented food. So we can, I would say that I'm personally going to consider our fermented food, whatever that we fermented and eat it, like idli, dosa, all this is going to be a sattvic because it's a fermented food. It's good and to promote good gut bacteria. Yes. And most of the, I think, health issues is because we forget to keep our gut clean. uh, in like 10 years back, even like 15 years back when we were little, we used to take weekly once, some medicine, even that, neem balls or even castor oil, we drink it just to clean our gut. Even I don't do that for my kids, because that, I heard a lot of videos or read books, that keeping our gut bacteria, it really helps for the healthy lifestyle. So that is something to keep on our mind, how to keep our gut clean and what kind of food helps to keep our gut good. Good. Okay, great session. Be blessed. Thank you so much. Thank you for the session. Thank you. Yeah. Today's World Idli Day. Thank you so much. Yeah, because idli, I always tell my children that idli is one of the best food that is recommended in the YouTube in the entire world. I always say that because our kids should know that how the Indian food is more valuable, and every food, even there are some cultures they eat pizzas every day, because my son is in the college and the night he had that pizza is the only food that's available all the time. But along with that, he eats with the salad. So that is how they have to balance it, right? So we cannot go and tell them that don't eat the pizza every day. We can say it, but along with it, you have to say make sure you eat the right fiber, make sure you eat the right fruits, because they sometimes they study for longer times. That is the only food that's available for them. So we have to give the positive words to even the food is the pizza, that we have to tell them that okay, balance with all the other nutritions. So today is a World Idli Day. Thank you so much. I'm going to share this to my family, everyone, and thank you so much for listening to me. And any other questions or any other feedback? Thank you. Be blessed by the divine Uma Master.
All right, ma'am. I think we can conclude the session. Thank you, one and all, for all your active participation today. I'm sure each one of you must have found the entire session motivating, inspiring, and useful. I thank our special guest, Alnidhi Hemalatha Rajendran, for an excellent keynote address. Actually, ma'am started with a strong statement, we are what we eat, and went on to explain on the importance of sattvic, rajas, and tamas food with colorful PowerPoint presentation, the do's and don'ts of having them in regard with precautions in cleaning, time, quantity, and quality, how to remain energetic throughout, and rules to be observed while eating. The day actually, it is all well brought out. It is very nice and interesting to see the brilliant photography, which I've not seen before. Actually, the vibrant energy field created by sattvic food, different kind of food was shown, was really very nice to see. Rules to be observed while eating are the excellent keynotes, which brings awareness to be kept in mind while eating. Maharishi's a recommendation on eating mindfully is something to be constantly kept in mind in the world filled with junk, fatty, preservative, frozen foods. The emphasis on doing Kayakalpa and good thoughts, even blessing it before eating, is very well brought out. Being a yoga practitioner, you stand as a living example, being a healthy person free from allergy. The benefits of yoga was also given with a lot of examples shared by you. Like you said, let us eat, celebrate food, and enjoy it wholeheartedly is to be constantly cherished. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
Sky
much.
Yoga
Thank you.
Sky Yoga online daily meditation is being conducted daily at 6:30 p.m. IST and 6 a.m. IST and 5 a.m. PST. Special lecture is also being held on Saturdays. or Saturdays, and simplified physical exercise and Kayakalpa videos are being shared in Zoom daily. Kindly do join us every day. Foundation course commences on 1st and 16th of every month. Kayakalpa Yoga is taught second week of every month, and certification program on every first Monday. So kindly inform your relatives and friends and make use of it. This is the need of the hour, which will bring success, harmony, peace into all our life. Thank you, one and all. See you all tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for morning meditation. Thank you once again, ma'am, for your excellent note. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.